My name is Eric Strebel. Welcome to another video of mine about industrial design. I'm going to show you how to do an old school pencil sketch using a white colored pencil on a black piece of paper. This technique was made famous by a lot of the original industrial design pioneers like Raymond Loewy and Henry Dreyfuss, and still used today by some of the other legends like Kalani. I don't use it a lot, but sometimes it's a great effect, and you don't see it very much anymore. So I thought I'd do a demo showing you how basic technique works. I started by drawing a simple perspective line down the middle of the page so I could orientate where my bottle was going to be located. From there, I started drawing a series of ellipses, and I used my ellipse guide to sort of nail them down, because getting the perspective right is pretty important. Otherwise, the whole sketch is pointless if you don't get the ellipses right. I started off with a fairly tight ellipse at the top, about 35 degrees. Worked my way down. The ellipse at the bottom of the page is about 60-degree angle. And if you noticed, I always made sure that the short axis of my ellipse went along with the original guideline that I drew, so everything lined up really good. Now I'm just shading in the form. Since I'm using a white pencil, it's really allowing me the luxury of drawing all the highlights, versus if I had a white piece of paper, I can't do that. So the other great thing about using a white pencil on a piece of black paper is that in this case I'm drawing a glass bottle, and I'm drawing the highlights, which is something that's really hard to do when you're using a white piece of paper and let's say a black pencil or a pen. It's allowing me to get some really punchy contrast and show the glass and the transparency in a different kind of way that really makes the drawing unique. I'm using the pencil to shade around the outside of the bottle, and that's creating some form, just using some shading to contrast the actual bottle. It's helping me define my object while drawing outside of the object, and drawing my ground plane shadow at the same time to really anchor the bottle on the ground. Just doing the last details, basically the back side of the bottle, giving that a little bit of punch, and showing the form and how it wraps since it is a cylinder. You also notice they never really draw anything at the bottom of the bottle. I really kind of just let that fade away, almost like it's out of focus if it was a photograph, because I want the viewer to focus on the top of the bottle, on the screw cap of the bottle, because that's really the important part of the drawing for me, is designing the top of the bottle and getting the most out of the contrast in that area. If I was going to take this drawing to the next level, I would add some gouache to some of the highlights. Of course, you can just do that in Photoshop today, but I just wanted to leave it simple. Hope you liked the video. If you have any requests for any specific industrial design type video, leave them in the comments. I'll see what I can do.